Featuring the Universal Orlando Resort for over 5 years, you are listening to the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 207 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast. I'm your host for this evening. I'm Tracy. And with me I have Lee.
Hello everyone.
I also have Darren.
What's up, Internet?
And we have Hunter.
Oh, we do it, everybody.
We're good. How are you?
Minus some setbacks this week. I'm doing pretty good.
Oh.
Is that the cursed child setback?
Yes. I'm still kind of reeling from that.
Not good.
No, I haven't read it yet, but I'm sure I will do at some point.
And how are you, Darren?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I didn't read anything.
Sounds good. Right, just to let everybody know, this is actually going out live on the Producers Club Facebook page. Now, this is the test. And if we feel it works, we're going to do it more regularly on the actual Facebook page.
I'm quite nervous because I'm having to keep an eye on a lot of what's going on here at the moment.
You could get lost quite easily. Yeah. Now, before we move on to the ice cream debate, we have some Producers Club birthdays. Darren, would you like to take this one?
Oh, yeah. I guess it's appropriate here.
Yeah.
Our first birthday is to my lovely girlfriend, Nina Thompson, whose birthday is on August 6th.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday!
August's a very busy month for birthdays around here.
Mm-hmm.
And
it is, right?
Anniversaries. It's our wedding anniversary, actually, on Thursday, so happy anniversary, dear.
Oh, thank you. Happy anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd have been out now.
For prison.
Yeah.
I wish we could have all been together to celebrate these happy occasions.
Yeah.
Right. Also, in August, Allison Schilberg, who actually shares the same birthday as Nina, August 6th.
That's awesome.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Mike
birthday.
Stiff
Oh, Hunter is
on
there.
August 10th.
Is that Mike
was that?
Stiff?
Everyone
Yeah.
hold your birthdays till the end here.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Holly Cotter, August 13th and 30th, apparently.
No, that means that it's Holly's 30th.
Oh, happy 30th. Woo!
Yes.
You are
Save 'em
supposed
for
to
the
say
end.
that?
We have to save him for the
For a
end.
lady's birthday? Like a lady's age?
She
I
told
don't
me.
know
She
about
told
that.
me it was a 30th.
All right. Yeah, and if you tell Lee something, he'll tell everybody. That's for
No,
sure.
I think she wanted it celebrating.
And Steve Milson Payne, who's on August 15th. So happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
It's Nina, Ali, Mike, Holly, and Steve.
Yes. Have great birthdays, everybody. Now, we also need to announce the winner of our iTunes review giveaway for the rest of the world. We put all the entries into a randomizer, and the winner was...
It was
Darren.
Fellowship
No, it wasn't Darren.
9798. Yes, I won again.
Actually, it was Darren.
Yes.
Yes, who is Darren Brown, the very famous television psychic. And he has already been in touch with off the back of Lee doing the draw. What? Okay. So, yeah, Lee did a draw live.
That's
Yes.
terrible with all
He
4
wrote this in
people.
British. I can't read it. So, Darren, we will get your gift card out soon. Actually, it just went out today. So,
Awesome.
yep.
Cool.
Right. It is now time for a Florian Fortescue ice cream debate. And this one is from Elena.
UUO podcast. This is Elena calling from Diagon Alley. We are just finishing up our second Florian Fortescue ice cream. My husband and I both really liked the salted caramel blondie, but apple crumble took first place. So we both have a vote for apple crumble, but a second for salted caramel blondie. Thank you for everything that you've done. You have made my experience a great one. Our first time here, we felt very confident in what we were doing because of your advice. So thank you again and keep up the great work. Take care.
Awesome.
Oh, that's
The
lovely.
first trip there as well. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for that, Elena.
Yeah.
I don't feel confident on my 76 trip there. So.
Well, that definitely pushes apple crumble out in the lead, by the way.
I can't remember what mine was.
As it should.
I can't remember what I had.
Mine was apple crumble.
Didn't you have apple crumble?
It might have been.
Don't I? I thought I did.
No, I mean, when we went out, what we tried.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember.
No, it was a long time ago. We need to go back.
Well, it's the best. We can just end this now.
Yeah, it's looking like the way already.
Yeah. So people, don't forget we still want your ice cream debate entries. So if you want your voice to be heard,
Just record us a message on your phone telling us who you are, where you are, and which is your favourite Florian Fortescue ice cream flavour, just like Elena did.
You can also email us at podcast@uuopodcast.com.
And you can alternatively go to speakpipe.com/alternative podcast. I mean, UUO podcast, and leave it there.
Or alternatively,
yes,
Or alternatively, Hunter News.
send it by
I
pigeon,
always
whatever you
use.
want. Well, talking about news, I think it's time we moved on to that, is it? Well, we will begin with the next instalment of Seth's Little Things. So it's over to Seth.
Hi everyone, this is Seth Gabursky from the Unofficial Guide and Orlando Weekly, reporting to you with all the little things that have changed around Universal Orlando lately. This week I'm reporting live from the brand new Sapphire Falls Hotel, the Strongwater Tavern where we've been enjoying some rum flights. Now, if you've had a few too many of those rum flights and you need some not so strong water, check out the new Dutch trading company Grab and Go restaurant here at the Sapphire Falls Hotel. They have one of the few Coke Freestyle machines left on property that dispenses free water. As you may be aware, back inside the parks, the Coke Freestyle machines will no longer give out free water unless you've paid for a cup. However, the Coke Freestyle machines do have a new exclusive flavor called Gamma Green, just in time to celebrate the upcoming return of the Incredible Hulk roller coaster. Now, there's no reopening date for the Incredible Hulk yet. However, we have recently seen human guinea pigs testing the ride. So it won't be long now before we're all back on the Hulk again. Elsewhere in Islands of Adventure, Confisco's, the restaurant near the front of the park, has introduced a new menu in the last few weeks. They've got some good new appetizers. We really enjoyed the calamari. However, the bad news is that they no longer have a happy hour. So no more discounted happy hour drinks inside either of the parks. However, if you still want a happy hour, you can head out to City Walk, where Emerald's is now offering a happy hour from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. every day. They've got some $5 cocktails in small plates, half-price bottled beers, and what I recommend, $1 a piece for baked oysters. They're really great. Finally, back in City Walk, the Olympics are coming up. That's a big deal, and they're going to be showing them on the big screen outside the NBC Sports Grill and Brew. So if you want to catch the Olympics, you can grab a beer and hang out outside and watch them on the giant screens. That's all we've got this week for the little things. We'll be back next time with more from all around Universal Orlando.
So real quick, it's pretty disconcerting. I really want to know where Universal got human-sized guinea pigs. It's a very pressing question.
Secret Life
Well,
of
gamma
Pets.
radiation can do a lot of really cool things.
That's
I
true.
was going to go with Dr. Henry Wu over in the Discovery Center, but I like your line of thinking. Secondly, that's some very sensual music you got behind you there, Seth. Keep that going.
Yes. Well, that was over at Sapphire Falls, as he said, so you will recognise that music, Hunter, surely.
I actually did not go into Strongwater, but
Ah,
I'm
right.
glad we got a report from there.
Yes.
And also, like you said, Hulk is actually doing employee previews as of the day we're recording this today. From what we've heard from, I think it's from like noon till 10 o'clock tonight. So,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. I think that means that Nina might get the Hulk open for her birthday this weekend, possibly.
Definitely. Well, here's a
That'd be
question
good.
for you then. What do you reckon to the new launch? Travis posted a picture on the Facebook page and on our Instagram of the launch. So as it comes out of the tunnel now, there's an actual Hulk roar.
So it roars as it spits you out.
Yes.
I think it's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think
I like
it
it.
sounds pretty good on there. So
It looks awesome. I mean, you look at like the walls that have come down around it now and you can see that entrance facade. It's much more grand than it was originally.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
an event now.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
needs to be. It was very, I've said this before, that I think a lot of the facades for the stuff in Marvel Superhero Island are very understated.
Well, I always felt that the Hulk was kind of tucked away.
Yeah, it was.
You had to go round a corner and then through a boring set of ramps.
And it looks like, from the pictures I've seen, that they've incorporated the metal detectors into the entrance because it actually looks like it's part of it rather than just being kind of stuck out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I haven't seen any pictures of the queue yet, but I can't wait to.
Well, just kind of looking at our good friend Greg posted, he said the launch is a lot better, the queue is a lot better, the lockers are still a sticky situation, and the music is the best part.
Yeah,
So-
apparently the lockers are quite small, aren't they, from what I've heard?
Yeah.
The lockers are always a contentious issue at the parks. It's probably it's been the one thorn in my side for the last couple of trips.
Yeah.
It is, but we can't trust people to do anything alternatively,
No.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
It surprises me how many people don't know about that little pocket in the seat on Forbidden Journey, though. I always just throw my phone and wallet in there instead of waiting for the lockers.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah.
So yes, right before you sit down on Forbidden Journey, it's an incredibly long boarding experience anyway, so don't feel like you have to rush. But right before you sit down, you'll notice there's a little compartment. You can pull it out, and it's big enough to fit a pretty large cell phone, a wallet, a pair of keys. I've even put in sunglasses, as well as all the above. So
Cool.
unless you have a purse or merchandise or something like that, feel free just to use that when you're boarding.
That's good to know.
And then off the back of that, the walls came down around Toothsome as well this weekend, and that looks stunning.
When I was
It
there,
really
the actual front was in motion, so the cogs and everything were spinning. So looks like we're getting close.
Yeah. I would say before Horror Nights at this point. That looks
Yes.
cool. It just makes me really
I
sad.
know. Now, can I go back to something I heard Seth talking about, which was flights of rum? Excuse me. Why are flights of anything not a thing over here?
I don't know.
I've only ever had one flight. That was of beer
in
in
Epcot.
beer garden.
Yeah.
And I was sozzled.
That's because you didn't eat anything
Well, I couldn't
either.
because that bloody woman was talking to me the whole time. Stranger just decided to talk to me. I'm like, I've got friends here that I
Yeah.
haven't seen, and I need to talk to them.
Are we
Shut
talking
up.
about Lee again?
Yeah,
I'm not a strange woman.
but yes,
Yeah, but you talked the whole time.
No, this is true.
a flight of rum. I like that idea. I want to go there.
Yeah, we sent the wrong person there to review Sapphire Falls, didn't we, Hunter? The non-drinker.
Well, I have two in my party who could participate. So
That's
Oh,
good.
okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Tickets are now on sale for Universal's Rock the Universe, and it's over to Darren for more.
Yes, on September 9th and 10th, ladies and gentlemen, guests can experience a weekend filled with faith and worship in an unforgettable atmosphere that's unique to Rock the Universe. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get an amen?
Amen!
Amen.
This year's concert lineup features some of Christian music's hottest artists. Not hot from the flames of hell. No. I'm talking about hot like famous, including Christian hip-hop legend Toby Mac. Yeah? Billboard Music Award-winning Christian rock band Skillet.
They'll grill you.
And Grammy Award-winning hip-hop artist Lecrae.
Woo!
Go ahead and come with me below for the full concert lineup. On Friday, September 9th, on the Music Plaza stage, we have Skillet, Jeremy Camp, The Wren Collective, and KB. On the Hollywood stage, we have Matt Maher, Lauren Daigle, and Finding Favor. In the Coca-Cola fan zone, this is a different promoter here. We have DJ Promote, Seven Eventh? Seven Eventh Time Down. Oh, they're doing one of those fancy, like, this.
Is it seventh?
S is the number 7,
Yeah.
but it's the word is.
guess.
Okay. 7th Time Down, Jillian Edwards, Royce Lovett.
I've never heard of
On
any of
Saturday,
them.
September 10th, on the Music Plaza stage, we have Lecrae, Toby Mac, Family Force 5, and Andy Minogue. On the Hollywood stage, we have Colton Dixon, NF, one of these 2-letter things,
Those
and I Am
NF
They.
stands for free.
You know,
Yeah.
Family Force 5 is my favorite Spy Kids movie.
And back over in the Coca-Cola fan zone, we have DJ Promote, The New Respects, About the Author, and Ryan Stevenson. Now, Universal Orlando offers several Rock the Universe ticket options and donations, of course. For the ultimate experience, guests can purchase a Rock Your Weekend Park-to-Park ticket, which includes admission to both event nights and park-to-park admission to you and the Holy Ghost. To both Universal Studios Florida and Universal's Islands of Adventure for 3 consecutive days. To purchase tickets and learn more about Rock the Universe 2016, visit rocktheuniverse.com.
We're going to rot in hell after that.
We already were.
I've only heard of Skillet out of all that lot, I'll be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty involved in music, and I recognize maybe 3 or 4 names here.
Mm.
But I don't think any of us are the target demographic here either.
No, that state bigger than ever.
Sean Hill's just commented in the group saying, I love Rock the Universe. It means we're one step closer to Horror Nights.
Yes. It's the warm-up act then.
They should just put out the props and close that darn witchcraft land while we're doing it.
Oh, what a juxtaposition of events.
I know.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Literally heaven to hell.
Yeah. I wonder, That's interesting.
Yes, it is. Right, before we land ourselves in any more hellish area.
Well, real quick, Tracy.
Yes.
They should actually have Chance come out and MC the entire event.
Love it. I'd vote for that. Right, we're now going to head over for another Autism at the Park with the lovely Maureen.
Hi, this is Maureen Deal with Autism at the Parks, reporting from Universal Orlando Resort for the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. And today I'm at Universal Studios, Florida. And I wanted to update everyone on a new requirement in order to have the Attraction Assistance Pass, or the AAP. All guests and their group and everyone in the family, their ticket needs to be scanned and assigned to the AAP. So, for example, you might have one family member who has need of the AAP, and everyone else in your family, they need to have their ticket scanned in order to be assigned. And this has been Maureen Deal for the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, signing off from Universal Studios, Florida.
That's always handy to know. It's funny how, like, the guest
Definitely.
assistance card, like Universal have been doing it that way for years, and it's basically the Disney have adopted it, and everyone started complaining that Disney did it that way, yet Universal have never had any complaints about the way they handle it.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much for that, Maureen. And now it's time for a quick break.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 8th wonder of the world is returning to Universal Orlando Resort. So let our friends at Fairy Godmother Travel take care of the resort reservation. They are a Universal Parks and Resorts specialist, as well as being an authorised Disney vacation planner, and their service is free to you. From the awesome Cabana Bay Hotel to those other hotels run by a mouse, Fairy Godmother Travel can book all your Orlando vacation needs. So, you don't need to miss the chance to see the amazing King Kong in the flesh. And please make sure to let them know that you heard about Fairy Godmother Travel because of UUOP. Because every UUOP referral helps us to continue to bring you the greatest Universal coverage. Contact them today by phone at 832-284-4002 or toll free at 888-939-642539 or go to fairygodmothertravel.com.
Let Fairy Godmother Travel make your next vacation magical.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Welcome back from that wonderful break. Now, last Monday, Hunter got to stay at the brand new Lowe's Sapphire Falls Hotel. So it's over to him to give us his review.
So last week, I had the pleasure of checking out Universal Orlando's newest resort at Sapphire Falls. Real quick, before I get too deep, I'll remind everyone at the end. I am going to be trying to upload a blog post. I actually typed the day after I got back. We were trying to time it with the show, so we'll put that up. I've got a lot of pictures there, a lot of media. Check it all out. It should be a good time.
Yes, everybody watching live at the moment, I'll be posting the pictures in the live thing so you can see Hunter's the pictures he actually took.
I took some amazing pictures, thank you.
Yes, you did.
Start off, like, getting to the hotel. How easy was that?
So getting to the hotel, it's a bit of a mess. And what I mean by that is if you are not paying attention or if your GPS gives you wrong directions, then it is completely possible to completely miss where you need to turn. And then you end up right back on the highway. And you've got to go down by SeaWorld, and then you can make a U-turn to go back into Universal. So make sure you're paying attention because we
Sounds like you did this.
Oh, is that on the I-4, sorry?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So basically what it is you turn into Universal, and then I believe it's towards the left. So if you go to the right, that's where the parking garages and everything's are. If you go to the left, that's where the hotels are. So that's where Sapphire Falls, Cabana Bay, Royal Pacific, all that is right up the road there. But if you miss that, it just puts you right back on the highway. Just a little bit of a heads up for you guys. But after we made our return trip, it was very easy. So as soon as you pull in to Sapphire Falls, it's pretty unassuming, to be perfectly honest. It's just kind of a big white building. Some people have said it kind of looks like an IHOP, and
Okay.
it kind of does. It does. So once you pull in, you go into the parking garage. At least in our experience, we were not immediately billed for parking, but I believe it's the same rate for all of Universal's hotels. There's like a $22 parking fee.
No, I want to say Cabana Bay is less.
Yeah, Cabana Bay is cheaper than everybody else, but yeah, I think that's the same as Royal Pacific.
Now, how much is cheaper? $2, $3?
10.
Cabana Bay was like, when I went, it was like $15.
Yeah.
10 to 15. No, yeah, maybe it was 10.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So pretty expensive on the parking costs there, which we paid when we checked out. We didn't actually pay until we left the resort. But once you actually go inside, the lobby itself is very, very nice. As soon as you walk in, you are greeted by a giant, it's almost like a beach ball chandelier. It's how would you describe it, Darren? It's like a thatch or a straw arrangement.
Wicker.
Well, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it looks like
yes.
Hessian,
it's
doesn't
It's
it?
wicker.
Yeah. So it's like that, but it's arranged like beach balls. And at night, it actually lights up and it's very, very
Beautiful.
pretty. But as soon as you get inside, it's a very, very spacious seating area. To your left immediately is where you can check in. That's where concierge and everything is. To the right is they've actually got a Universal Studios gift shop right inside there.
Okay.
And they sell T-shirts and resorts merchandise. And believe it or not, they even sell some of the character wands, which is pretty interesting.
Hunter, is there any Sapphire Falls specific merchandise in there?
Yes. So there's a really cool Coca-Cola Freestyle cup that you can get there. And I believe I saw some shirts as well.
Is that it? See, I want a pin. Just a pin. We couldn't get one when we stayed at Royal Pacific, could we?
And fridge magnets. We
Yeah.
collect them.
I didn't take a look at either of those. But it would surprise me if they're not already doing that, if they're not planning to do that,
Yeah.
because Disney's been making a killing off of doing something similar for a long time now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right next to that, there's it's almost like a little snack shop right across from the a souvenir shop. But the main thing is, so after you check in and everything, it's divided up into different sections of the hotel, which I think they're called houses. I'd have to look back up. So we're in house 2, but at the back of the lobby area, there's a giant window, and that's where you can actually see pretty much the entire resort, and you can see the water landing and the resort and where they have the fire pits and everything like that.
How was check-in then, Hunter? Because I heard
Check-in
first couple of days it was bad.
Check-in was super quick. So I went up there. I was like, hey, we've got a party. Checking in for our
They're
room.
like, all right.
Yeah. You bring any refreshments? And then she kind of scratched her nose real quick. She printed off some quick ID tags for us, and then we were on our way in less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
But
Did
there's
you have a $100 hold placed on your card there?
I didn't
Look up
look,
there.
but she did say that there was going to be a deposit charge. But she said something along the lines of there's going to be a quick charge, but it's going to go back immediately. So I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, well, that's standard, isn't it, in most hotels?
Well, Cabana Bay was $100 that they held for the entire time, and then like up to, like it was like 3 or 4 days after the trip before we got it back. So
Okay.
That $10 parking doesn't sound too nice anymore, does it?
I'm trying to think. When we stayed at the Hard Rock last year and Royal Pacific, Tracy, can you remember anything like that getting said to us?
I don't remember at Royal Pacific when I stayed there. So.
I don't remember it at Hard Rock or Royal Pacific.
No, I don't.
Well, that's because you were staying in the closet, Darren. They didn't really care.
Don't steal a broom.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything like that.
No, I don't.
And we had quite long conversations, especially in Hard Rock.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Weird. Maybe they think if you're staying at one of the more affluent ones that you're less likely to break stuff or steal stuff.
I guess. I don't know.
Maybe they just look dodgy.
Maybe. Oh, it's that Hunter.
So, Hunter, let's get to the real business. How was the soap and the shampoo?
The soap and the shampoo, they were fragrant, but very, very simple. So I felt clean, but I didn't feel overwhelmed in scent. And I really appreciated that as a man who's, I want to smell clean, but I don't want to smell like a flower. So I really appreciated that. But you kind of already jumped the gun with there. So we started I'm going to call it a hike. We started the hike to our room.
Right.
Which actually turned out to be a bit of a good thing because we were far enough away from the lobby and far away enough from the action where it wasn't very loud in our section of the hotel. And even though I'm saying hike, it probably took us anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes after we figured out the resort to get back to the lobby from the hotel.
Okay.
We were on the 8th floor, so we were all the way up at the top. The lobby is on floor 4. So you can take a staircase, you can take the elevator. I took both. The stairs...
At the same time?
At the very same time. I actually raced. I had Kim and her friend take the elevator, and I took the stairs. So a weird glitch is going on with the elevators right now. I'm not sure if anybody else has had this experience, but we were only able to summon an elevator by pressing down. We were never able to catch an up elevator.
Right.
And that was at multiple different locations in the resort. So you press down, nobody's on it. You click that you want to go up, and you went up. But it was a really weird occurrence. We waited, I want to say, at 1.5 minutes for an elevator before we realized that you got to order down.
Wow. Elevator acts with Hunter.
Da-da-da.
Very strange.
So after that, we got up to the 8th floor, and we went straight to our room just to kind of drop everything off to prepare for the evening. And it's all the way at the back. Some of you already saw, because I was posting on the Twitter the 2 days that I was there, the official podcast Twitter. But we were actually stationed right behind Islands of Adventure.
Yeah, the view was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess if you're just kind of casual and you want to just enjoy the vacation while visiting the theme parks, and you're not a big theme park geek like myself or any of you guys are, maybe you would have been a little bit bummed because your view is quote-unquote blocked. But for us, it was blocked in the most perfect way because we had a view of the entirety of Islands of Adventure.
Yes.
I could have thrown a rock at the back of the Reina Kong building. It was very, very close.
Wow.
Did I?
Cool. Yeah.
The windows. It's not a balcony or anything, which is very unfortunate. Now, Kim, because they did not go into the parks with me that evening, they were actually able to watch the cinematic spectacular from the window. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
So the actual room itself, we stayed in a 2-queen bedroom. It's kind of small. It's what you expect from these theme park hotels in the sense that, or resorts, in the sense that it's pretty much just the 2 beds, a little bit of a living area with a table in case you want to eat or write something or whatever business people do or whatever you're doing. There's a large flat screen TV on a chest of drawers, and there's it's a pretty small bathroom too. So considering our room, I got the Florida resident rate. I want to say it was around 180, close to 200 with all the expenses and everything. But I think the regular going rate for that room was about $350. So I could see you being a little disappointed if you paid the full price, and you were expecting a little bit more of a spacious room.
$350.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
We only paid $320 for the Hard Rock at Halloween Horror Nights last year.
Keep in mind, I think we're in the middle of peak season still, aren't we?
Possibly, yeah. But isn't this supposed to be like a lower end one? Isn't this supposed to be? It's like a step up from Cabana Bay, but a slight step down from Royal Pacific.
It's
supposed to be on the same level as Royal Pacific, isn't it? But without the express.
I haven't been to the other resorts, so I can't attest to that. And the night when I did just check the regular going price without the Florida resident was, I want to say, 2 nights before we took our trip. So I'm guessing, compounding the closeness that I was trying to book it and being in peak season, it might have been a little bit more than it normally is.
Seems expensive that for one of those.
Yeah. It was a pretty small room, but the view was great. We definitely felt comfortable that we didn't have any lack of space or anything. But for 3 people, that seemed to be just the right amount before it would get kind of crowded in there.
Right.
Yeah.
The bathroom, it is just a sliding door dividing it from so there's a sink section with a beauty mirror and all your towels and necessities and everything like that. There's a sliding wood door, and that leads into the bathroom area, which has the toilet and it has the shower.
Okay.
The shower.
So if you and your loved one are, in a newer relationship, you'll probably be using the restroom in the lobby.
Got to keep
with
it
only
fresh.
A sliding door dividing everyone. Yes.
You got to keep it fresh, which Sapphire Fall soaps and shampoos allow you that opportunity. Thank you for reminding me, Darren.
It's not special stuff, though, is it? Like the stuff at Cabana Bay?
No. It's pretty much just standard theme park hotel soap and shampoo.
Well, that's
It
disappointing.
actually says that on the bottle.
Special standard
Just
theme
has a
park
generic
soap.
roller coaster that's not actually anywhere.
It's actually got my quote I just used too. It's fresh, but not too fresh. So the shower was surprisingly large, in the sense that there's plenty of standing space in the shower, but there's also like a little bench towards the back of the shower, and I've seen this design become more popular lately. But you can actually be lazy and wash. So if you really want to enjoy your vacation, go nuts. The shower head has 2 functions, for those of you who wanted to know.
I'd just like to say, though, sitting on a bench in a hotel room where other people's bare bums have been.
Oh.
I'm sure they watch that very well, too.
I think we'd have to.
Well, no, it's probably one of those spots. Hey, was it a handicap room by any chance? I hope not on the 8th floor.
No, there were actually no
So they just
rails
have
or
benches
anything.
for everyone.
Yeah,
Weird.
so everybody can be lazy while they wash. It's great. I might have christened that room. You never know.
Hunter. This is live, don't forget.
I think he means he weed in the shower.
You're reinterpreting what I'm
He
saying.
means he weed in the shower.
All right, okay.
I
And
hope
he sat
that's what
down
he
in the
means.
shower first there, Lee.
Yeah.
Know where my mind went.
Dirty.
Yep.
And fun fact, this entire time I've been talking about a shower, I've actually been talking about the sink. Anyways.
You're not big. You're too big to fit in the sink, that's for sure.
I could fit like my large toe in there. Maybe a cat. I don't know. So after this, we went back down, put everything up, went back down and checked out the pool facility and everything like that. It's a very large pool. I think it was something, what was it, like 1,800 feet?
I don't know, you were there.
I put it in the blog
Deep?
post. That's what I'm trying to think.
18.
We're talking about, yeah,
Yeah, they've
like
actually got a crack in
submarines
it.
going past, you know.
It's actually where they put the Nautilus after they shut down 20,000 Leagues.
Nice.
Looks nice. I'm just showing pictures now in the live thing of it at night.
I can't see it at night.
Okay, cool. So it's a very large pool. It's a very pretty pool. It is heated. Go nuts. A lot of people were in the pool while we were there. Kim did check out the restaurant that's by the poolside, restaurant/bar. I'm trying to remember exactly what it's called. I do have it in the blog.
Yeah,
And she had a great
experience.
experience there, which you can read about when I put that up later today.
Awesome.
So after getting back into the lobby, this is where we split up for the evening. You do have to go all the way to the ground floor to get down to the water landing if you're going out to City Walk or if you were going out to the theme parks. So you can take the elevator down to the 4th floor, and then you actually have to walk back into the lobby area, and then you can catch I believe there's an elevator, but I couldn't really find it. So there's a beautiful staircase area that you can walk down, which is that stone staircase I took a bunch of pictures of.
Oh, let me find it.
It's quite medieval looking.
Yeah, and the weird thing is they've actually got like a pull trolley and everything down there.
Yeah, it looks
It's
awesome.
interesting.
It doesn't look like the lobby of a hotel.
It looks like it would fit in the world of Harry Potter.
Yeah, or it looks like something you'd find in Skull Island.
Because I'm pretty sure I saw
I was
levitating
actually-
candles.
It's funny you mentioned that, Tracy, because I was actually tapping on random portions of the wall just to make sure.
Yep. Never
The
know.
Drum Club, by the way, Hunter. The Drahum.
Yes.
The Drahum Club is how it's spelled.
Drahum.
D-R-H-U-M. Drum Club is the pub bar.
And once you get down there, that's where the restaurant, the major restaurant for the hotel is. That's the Amatista Steakhouse
Cookhouse.
and the water landing is.
How was that, Hunter? We know you ate there, so you might as well tell us your experience.
Oh, you want to do that now?
You might as well. You've mentioned it.
Okay. We did not have a good experience at the Amatista Steakhouse. A manager did go out of their way to try to make it a little bit better, but overall it left a pretty sour taste in our mouth. And when we actually went, it was breakfast the next morning, so it was the very last thing we did at the resort for that day. So it kind of soured our opinion a little bit after having spoiler alert, we had a really good time at Sapphire Falls. But from kind of looking at reviews online and checking out other people, I believe it was another podcaster or a vlogger who said they had a similar experience to us in the sense that we went to Amatista. They did not have a lot of people there at the time. It was about 30 minutes before breakfast was wrapping up. Checked in. I want to say there was probably about 6 to 8 tables being occupied at the time. So we grabbed our seat. We were pretty much greeted right away. Got our drinks right away.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we waited about 10 minutes and placed our orders. And then after we placed our orders, we didn't see anyone in the restaurant for I think it was about 35 minutes.
Wow.
Is what we waited.
Okay.
This is including without drink refills or anything like that. So we wait, and this was our first meal of the day. It was getting closer to, it was actually past 11 o'clock at this point. We're like, well, we haven't eaten all day, so we're just going to wait. And when the food actually got there, it was pretty much bone cold. It was awful. But because we hadn't eaten anything since the previous evening at like 7 o'clock or so, we ate the food regardless, just because it's what we ordered and why we were there. But after that, still waiting on the drink refill after we get the food. Got that about 10 minutes after we got the food.
Wow.
And then the server just kind of refilled the drinks. A couple minutes later, came by, dropped the check, didn't say anything else to us, and walked off.
I hate that.
Yeah. Not a, hey, take your time. I'm going to go ahead and place this here. And when you guys get a chance, go ahead and pay the bill. Nothing like that. It was a pretty expensive restaurant. For the 3 of us for breakfast, it was over $50.
Wow.
Hunter, did that have a discount on it as well or not?
That did not have a discount on it, no.
Right.
So I actually just went up to one of the hosts who were checking people in at the time. Keep in mind, the entire time, the restaurant does not have any more than 6 to 8 parties in it, when it's supposed to accommodate at least 50 different parties could fit in there at any given point. So I went up to one of the hosts up there and I'm like, hey, I'm not really trying to be confrontational or be entitled or anything, but I just kind of went through the experience that we had. He's like, yeah, well, here, let me go ahead and I'll get one of the higher ups and we can talk to him. And I told the manager the exact same thing. Hey, I definitely don't want to come off as entitled or anything. He's like, well, we can we can tell right away if someone's acting entitled or if they just had a
Yeah.
bad experience. So I explained exactly what happened. He's like, well, we've had a lot of feedback about our breakfast experience lately. And obviously that kind of, it set off the bomb in my head in the sense that obviously I'm not the first to have any sort of complaint.
So why aren't they doing anything about it?
Right.
Still early
So-
doors,
No, I know,
though,
but
isn't
you
it?
have one complaint and you should be stepping it up immediately.
Yeah.
Especially if you're recognising there's a problem, you should be stepping that up.
Yeah. So after that, basically he talked, he's like, okay, so I could tell he was kind of getting the gears whirring in his head. And I'm like, I'm not really necessarily looking for any sort of compensation. If you want to do that, awesome. If not, I'm just letting you know that we had a really bad experience here. And, nobody knows that I'm not walking around in a Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast t-shirt or anything like that. I'm just a regular customer.
Just a hat and a forearm tattoo.
But no, that's good because Hunter's going and getting he's getting the
getting
general
Joe
guest
Public,
experience. It's not like, oh, we better, because he's a part of a
Yeah.
podcast or something like that. He's getting Joe Public experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I knew at the time, I actually put out some tweets from while we were waiting at the restaurant. If you want to check that out, there was only like one or two, but still, talked to the manager and he asked if this was our last evening. And I was like, yeah, we already checked out. From what I could gather, he didn't say it directly, but he was going to give us like a voucher for us to come back in the evening and eat dinner. But because we had already checked out, he wouldn't have been able to apply that as a credit towards like our bill or something like that.
Yeah.
So what he ended up doing is he knocked off 25% off of the total bill.
Were you happy with that, Hunter?
It's I feel like a little bit more could have been done.
I think that
But-
sounds low.
Any sort of compensation was appreciated. I know similar bloggers and reviewers have had varied success in either just getting the meal completely written off, which I'm not sure if they completed their food. Because keep in mind, we did eat our food, so I didn't expect to be compensated in full for anything. But 25% didn't seem like a lot for the amount of time we spent and the amount of time we wasted, because that was, a fair portion of the day where we could have been out doing something else while we had time, because we did have to return home in the early afternoon.
Well, to put it into perspective, Hunter, right, in what sounds like a very similar situation, when we ate at Cowfish with Darren and Nina, we ate all our food. Yes, it was cold. We were there for 2 hours. It sounds like a very similar experience. Tracy went down with Darren and they both complained, and we all got our full money back, and we all finished our food.
It took us a week to get ours back.
It did. Yeah, I won't say anything.
I'm not really a pushy guy.
No,
I
you're
was
not.
just,
No.
I didn't go up to him expecting to receive any sort of compensation for the food, or did I expect any sort of response in that manner. So I was grateful he did what he did. It just seems like maybe a little bit more could have been done in that situation.
Especially considering that it had only been open a week at that point. This is when they should be bending over backwards to make sure that if your meal isn't up to scratch enough, that you go away happy with what they did to make it right, because you're going to go away now. Again, they don't know that you're part of this, but even if you weren't, everyone's on Facebook now, everyone's on Twitter, so you're still going to come away and go, oh, we've just eaten at Amethyst Cookhouse. What was it like? Honestly, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going out. Like I said, I did pretty much immediately talk about it on Twitter with a couple of people using the official podcast handle. And by no means do we have the largest follower count, but that's 4,000 people who obviously give some sort of love and money to Universal. Yeah. So hopefully that news has hit some people. Hopefully they can get everything on track. I'd be happy to try it again, but I'm going to give it some time, and hopefully someone else has a better experience than I do.
Well, I'm glad to feel that way, because I wouldn't set foot in Cowfish again.
No, I wouldn't. Like Sean's just commented in the group there. He said he checked it out last weekend, and ate there, and they had an issue. They found a piece of plastic in one of the appetizers. He said the team members handled it really well, gave us the 3 appetizers free, and the waiter, chef and manager all came over to apologise, and then the head chef came over at the end with a free dessert. He was very impressed with what they did to But Pete and Ann Carroll's just there. They're being in a new restaurant. They do need feedback, and yeah. So like you got to say, if you have a bad experience, don't just come away and whinge about it on Facebook and Twitter. Go and talk to somebody because they don't know anything's wrong if people aren't complaining.
But it's not just the food, though, is it? Because they were left by themselves and nobody around them for 35 minutes. There was no refills.
Was it Keith?
Right.
There was, the bill was basically just flung at them.
See, that drives me up the wall.
I'd have picked it up and thrown it back.
Yeah, well, I was just looking at the website here, and it looks like everybody's misspelling it here because it's actually called the Amnesia Restaurant, and that's kind of like the theme of the restaurant. Right. Is the waitresses all get amnesia every 10 minutes and forget everything that they were doing. So it sounds like they did a great job.
Forgetful experience.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end, you're supposed to forget about all of that and just pay your bill and leave. So it sounds like you didn't participate like you were supposed to.
From what I've actually heard, I've listened to other podcasts and stuff with their opening day, and
their signature drink is called the Neuralizer, by the way.
Ah, cool.
There you go.
But apparently, Universal set the opening date and they had to adhere to it. And from what I've heard, a lot of the staff was saying that it wasn't ready. It wasn't ready to be open. But because they set that date, they had to open it.
And I will say that in the hotel, for the most part, it looks 80, 85, 90% done. But there's still some work that is being done on the outside of the hotel.
Yeah.
I believe I was talking to one of the water taxi drivers, and I'm not sure how true this is, but I believe he said he heard that only like 300 rooms were open at the time.
Okay.
And they're all haunted.
Hunter, did you get any sort of vibe? Because obviously it's open, it's going to be a convention restaurant. How did you feel that factored into it at all?
No, because if it's a convention restaurant, I guarantee you those people are going to be more demanding than I am, and they're going to have to step up their game.
Right. I mean, just the hotel in general, did you feel, could you feel it was a convention hotel or not?
It seemed just kind of like a happy compromise. Now, I haven't stayed, I guess the obvious convention hotel that you would compare it to would be like Coronado Springs. I haven't been to Coronado. For me, it just seemed like it's a little bit of a nicer hotel in the sense that not necessarily the complete upper class as far as like financial income, but people with a little bit more money to them are staying at this instead of going to like a Cabana Bay, but they don't see the benefit of maybe staying at something like a Hard Rock or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. From everything I saw from your review, everything that you've posted on Twitter and everything, I think Cabana Bay is the more fun of the two hotels.
I have now. Keep in mind, I'm there to get away. I'm there just to relax, and I'm there to check out the parks. So in this, it worked extremely well for me. On the sheer benefit of having the water taxi alone is a huge benefit that Cabana Bay doesn't have.
Well, how did you get to the parks, Hunter? Did you get the water? Oh no, you got on the Royal Caribbean, didn't you?
Isn't that a cruise line?
Yeah, that's what you said. And Darren went, "What? You got a cruise over?" You tweeted out or posted something that you'd got on the Royal Caribbean.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm going to have to look at that because I don't remember.
Because even Darren commented, I think Darren at Dead Man's Digest commented, "What? You got a cruise ship there?"
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look that up because I must have missed it. And I was checking Twitter constantly.
I was howling.
Blame autocorrect, I do.
I predominantly took I exclusively took the water taxi when I was going out into City Walk in the theme park.
Right.
So that puts you out pretty much right in front of the NBC Sports Grill, which is closer to Universal Studios, but it's not a heck of a lot of a walk over to Islands of Adventure either. Either way, you're coming out ahead from walking from the parking garage out into the theme parks.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say this.
If they do have the water taxi there and it's right across the street, then Cabana Bay has a water taxi pretty close now.
Okay.
Okay.
So you could walk from Cabana Bay to Royal Pacific, Sapphire Falls, and then get the water taxi.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see anything that would be stopping you from doing that.
That's interesting.
So the water taxi for me really, I don't want to say it rejuvenated my view of the parks, but it gave me a very, very different view of how to look at Universal Orlando, in the sense that everything is in one confined area. And the most comparable experience I can bring up is the Disneyland Resort. Because there you've got City Walk, you've got the hotels, and then you can pretty much just walk straight out into the parks or catch some sort of transportation. So the nice thing is, the next day when we woke up, caught the water taxi, went out, and we went to City Walk and watched a movie. And the night before, we went out to eat at City Walk, and then we split up and went into the parks.
Right.
And that entire experience, from the moment we got on the water taxi till I was walking into Islands of Adventure at the time, was about 10 minutes.
Okay. That's not bad.
Very, very quick experience. Now, I'm a little bit of a faster walker, but the actual taxi ride only took us, I think, about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And those water taxis are consistent. They're very, very quick, in the sense that I never had to wait more than 5 minutes for the next water taxi to arrive.
Because it goes through Royal Pacific, doesn't it? Is that right?
Yes, but they do have separate landings, so it's not like a monorail in the sense that it stops at every single resort. Each one has its own individual water taxi. And the way I looked at it is, it's almost like the ferry system, getting to Magic Kingdom. Oh, excuse me. No, that's not right. Anyways, they've got 2 water taxis. One's always parked at one location, the other's always on the other, and they pretty much pass by each other.
I mean, the walk's lovely.
So
I know
they're
when we walked from Royal Pacific when we stayed there, it's a gorgeous walk.
Oh, it's lovely. With a funny guard.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've stayed on site then?
At Universal, yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Just because I found a lot of the Universal resorts to be very pricey and out of budget. Even looking at something like Cabana Bay, I just haven't had the means to enjoy a trip like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Did you actually use the pool at all then, Hunter?
No, I did not.
Just
because
lovely.
after that, I did go out. Because keep in mind, this is my first time being back in a bit over a month, so I wanted to see what was going on new.
Yeah.
At the parks, specifically with what was going on with Reign of Kong and everything like that.
Yeah. Is that the last time you're going to be at the parks then, Hunter?
For
the time
as
being.
of this time, no.
When you're heading back?
We're gonna find a time.
Good.
I'll let you know.
Are you going to Horror Nights?
Yeah, but hopefully prior to Horror Nights, we'll go back.
Excellent.
I guess just one other tiny benefit that I can talk about real quick. Early park admission. If you don't mind getting out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning before the sun's even up, and you really want to see Diagon Alley or Hogsmeade with almost nobody in them, check out the early park admission. If anybody's listening to this that's not following us on Facebook, I do have, I want to say 2 or 3 videos up there about the early park admission. I was able to get into Diagon Alley pretty much immediately. Diagon Alley was practically empty, and it's just super weird seeing Diagon Alley with not that many people in it.
Oh no, I've never seen it without any people. It was heaving when we were there.
Yeah,
Hogsmeade we've seen virtually empty.
Yes. Yeah, we could have done.
Yeah.
We could have ducked in at Horror Nights. It'd have been empty about then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say this was slightly less busy than even when I went in and just grabbed a drink when we were doing Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay. Impressive. Yeah, so what time did you get in? 7?
I got there a little bit after 7. It was like 7:15, 7:20.
And that's because obviously you're at peak time, so early park admissions an hour before opening. The park's open normally at 8, is that right?
Right now the park's open at 8 and closes at 10.
We've never been there when it opens at 8.
No. 7, I definitely feel like more people would be there at the early park admission was at 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I think 7 o'clock's very, very early for the mass majority of people.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it anymore.
Well, you could in our first couple of days.
Yeah, because
we're
I'm
still
already
on
up at
British
that
time.
I also did it in the sense that I didn't stop anywhere and grab anything to eat on the way out. I didn't stop and eat anything when I actually got to the parks. I was just in the parks. I rode Reign of Kong with a 20-minute wait after the park officially opened at 8 o'clock. And then I was back at the hotel by 9:30.
Not bad at all. You got a good 2.5 hours where the park's virtually dead.
Yes.
Awesome.
Cool.
So overall, Hunter, out of 10, what would you give Sapphire Falls?
Sapphire Falls, I really enjoyed my stay. We've already talked about possibly looking at Sapphire Falls with a couple of friends when we go for Halloween Horror Nights and doing 2 nights and 2 back-to-back nights there. So I believe I'm going to give it around an 8. There's still some work that needs to be completed. The dining experience really let me down, but the view of the room, coupled with how nice everything was laid out, how close everything was in proximity.
Yeah.
Once again, even though I was at the back of the hotel, it only took me anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes to make it back into where all the restaurants and everything were, and to the water landing. Couple that with the water taxis and everything like that, I feel comfortable in giving it a high 8.
Excellent.
Awesome. I'd be interested if you do stay at some of the others to see how it compares.
Definitely.
Because we stayed at Royal Pacific and the Hard Rock, and Darren stayed at the Royal Pacific and Cabana Bay. I don't think he stayed at Hard Rock.
Nope.
No. So between the 4 of us, the only one we haven't stayed at is Portofino Bay,
which is on my bucket list.
That is expensive.
That's where we've got no kids one.
And then obviously there is the new one that's going to be open, God knows when, the Aventura.
Yes.
600-room thing, and they're adding to Cabana Bay. So, for what I was listening to, I think it was the Diz Unplugged Universal today, and they were saying that apparently there's still going to be another 2 hotels on site. So I don't know whether that includes this 6th one or not, but it worries me that they're going to have so much on-site occupancy that the parks can't handle it.
Yeah.
Hunter, did you go into the parks did you go in after that 9:30? Did you go back in at all?
I did not, but I did go into I did not go back into the parks after I went back to the resort that day, but I was in the parks until close to 11 the previous night. Credit to the Universal team members real quick, because I was there pretty much an hour after park opening. I just walked very, very slowly and got some wonderful pictures, so thanks for not kicking me out, guys.
How busy was it?
After 10 o'clock, prior to that, it was slowing down. I did meet up with our friend and listener, Christopher, and we hung out that evening.
Awesome.
And we rode Reign of Kong. I want to say we waited about... I think it was about 40 minutes.
That's not bad. I've seen it.
Check that out all the way through the queue.
I've seen it at 75 this weekend, so that's not bad.
No. Cool. Right, well, I guess that's going to do it then. This live Facebook edition. So, for Elena, Seth, Maureen, Darren, Lee, Hunter, and myself, Tracy, this has been the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Good night, all.
That's it for another Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Make sure you never miss a show by subscribing on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave us a rating and a review. Listen to us on Stitcher, Google Play, and all your podcast apps. Email us with any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com, or even better, record your message at speakpipe.com/uuopodcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Check out our blog for even more content at uuopodcast.com. And finally, our sponsors, Fairy Godmother Travel, are here to help with all your Universal vacation needs. So check them out today at fairygodmothertravel.com. Well, that's a wrap. See you next week.